Would you consider a pardon or a commutation for Ghislaine Maxwell if
it's something I haven't thought about. It's really something. It's something I'm allowed to do it.
All right, now, for the record, if Trump cuts Ghislaine Maxwell a deal, it will destroy any credibility he has with his hillbilly mafia. Why? Well, here's a little bit of what Maxwell did and why she's in jail. Ghislaine Maxwell was not only an Epstein accomplice to the crimes against young girls on this island, but she would seek out and recruit/convince these young girls to visit the island. And many of these girls were sexually assaulted by both Epstein and her. Yeah, that's right. But were there others? And who are they? Because somebody's lying here.
They talk about me. I have nothing to do with the guy.
Really, Donnie?
Back in 2003, 3 years before Epstein got into legal trouble and was exposed as a pedophile, Trump was asked by Epstein's girlfriend to write a letter to the financier for his 50th birthday. The letter was put into an album with dozens of other birthday greetings and then presented to Epstein. The Journal describes the letter as several lines of typewritten text framed by the hand-drawn outline of a naked woman. The future president's signature is a squiggly Donald below her waist. Trump allegedly signed off with the words, "A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret."
So now Todd Blanche, who is Trump's former personal attorney, is going to be the one interviewing Maxwell to get information about what she knew and what she did and who else was there. But of course, there is a conflict since Trump flew on Epstein's jet at least 7 times and claims to have never been on the island, which he lied about.
In 2021, as part of Ghislaine Maxwell's trial, it was revealed that Donald Trump lied about riding on Epstein's plane. He actually flew on it 7 times.
But here's the big question. What are Trump's people talking to her about?
Trump admitted he knew Epstein for 15 years, even stating that Epstein, quote, likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side.
And what happens if Trump pardons Maxwell? My prediction, a shitstorm of unprecedented magnitude. Because while MAGA seems willing to tolerate Trump's treatment of women,
you know what? So what if he wants to grab pussy?
They draw the line at pedophilia.
What is the end game? What are they trying to do? It looks to me like they're trying to check a box. They're trying to appease the critics, be able to say, look, we sat down with her, we got information, we dug in, we tried to find the truth, and hopefully that'll appease people. I don't know if it'll work, but I think that's the end game.
And how will we find, I mean, I think, look, we're going to hear only, I think, what Maxwell is telling Blanche via Blanche and maybe Maxwell's attorneys, and all of their interests may be aligned. I mean, how will we ever see real data on this?
Exactly. You would never have somebody audio recording this type of scenario or video recording this type of scenario. We don't know, but I would assume that holds true here. Ordinarily, and it seems like what's happening here is you will have a prosecutor, Todd Blanche, in this case, very unusual, by the way, that it's the deputy AG, asking questions, and one or more FBI agents taking notes. They will then, the FBI agents will produce what's called a 302, which is a written summary. But you're right. Who controls the questioning, and then who controls what we see of this? The answer is DOJ, Todd Blanche, and the FBI.
Alyssa, you know, to quote the famous political film Mean Girls, the president keeps trying to make hoax happen when it comes to the Epstein case. He calls it a Democratic hoax and whatnot. But I want you to listen to House Speaker Mike Johnson, what he just said about all of this.
We want full transparency. We want everybody who was involved in any way with the Epstein evils, let's call it what it was, to be brought to justice as quickly as possible. We want the full weight of the law on their heads.
This is not a hoax, in other words.
Oh, it's not a hoax. Of course not.
Of course not. So what does that tell you about the messaging the president has been trying to deliver? As, again, we're standing by to see the president depart for Scotland, where I imagine Epstein may come up on his way out.
Yeah, the president can't make hoax or fetch happen at this point. But listen, Mike Johnson and Donald Trump are virtually always aligned. But in this moment, keep in mind, we're a year and 4 months out from the midterms. Mike Johnson's members are going home to their districts for this August recess. And many of them are going to hear from very angry constituents over the flip-flop and reversal on the Epstein files. Many voters turned out. One of the reasons they did is they wanted to get to the bottom of this. You know, Donald Trump doesn't really have to deal with this beyond just the continual drip of questions and getting grilled by reporters, but he's not standing for re-election again. And Mike Johnson's top job right now is keeping the House majority. So he is going to have to create some daylight with Trump. He also said something interesting when asked yesterday, I believe, where he kind of sowed some doubt that Ghislaine Maxwell could actually be a trustworthy person, because this is a convicted sex trafficker. This is somebody who assisted a man with grooming and with bringing other women into this horrible, horrible circumstances. So he also seems to be maybe kind of pouring some cold water on the idea that she's going to help us get to the bottom of anything, or that she herself should be trusted. It's the right move. It's the right move by Johnson. He's got to focus on protecting his members and cannot have them dragged down by the White House's mishandling of this.
It is interesting. You bring up Maxwell again, and you have to, I hope people do remember what some of the victims, Epstein's victims, have said. I mean, they have said that, and this was testimony in her trial, that she sexually abused them. She was convicted of conspiring to sexually abuse minors. And how much of a risk, Alyssa, is there that in these meetings where the Justice Department, seems to be praising the idea of the meetings, Maxwell's lawyers are praising the Justice Department, how much political risk is there of trying to seem too cozy?
And of course, that is the big question. At first, Trump tried to deflect to Obama, calling for his arrest over the Russian interference in 2016, which Trump lies about consistently, and saying Democrats made up the Epstein hoax, to which both MAGA and Democrats call bullshit.
I think the time has come for the administration to release all of the files.
Like, look, where's the Epstein files? Boo, can't find them. Don't exist. Like, they can get away with man. Oh, yeah. Kash Patel said there's nothing you're looking for. Oh, okay.
There's a lot more I want to tell you, but first, a quick reminder that if you're investigating Medicare supplemental insurance, it's tough. It's a nightmare. So don't go it alone. Let Chapter help you through it. Now, look, I thought I had the right coverage until Chapter showed me that my wife and I could save nearly, catch this, $80,000 over the course of our lifetime. I think that's worth a phone call. They'll help you find out what's best for you. So call, talk to them, no pressure, just great answers. That's Chapter. The number's right there on the screen. 816-953-0071. 816-953-0071. All right, so of course, Maxwell is serving a 20-year prison sentence for her conviction for sex trafficking and other crimes. And any information she provides about Epstein, whose suicide in jail 6 years ago, is now being debated.
It's the controversial video that is triggering a MAGA mutiny.
Well, it would be viewed suspiciously, to say the least. So there's basically two things that can happen here, maybe three. First, Trump could pardon Maxwell, and part of that pardon would be her silence on the other people on the list. And there is a list.
It's sitting on my desk.
And of course, Trump will say that Maxwell named others, but of course not Trump, right?
You ought to be speaking about Bill Clinton, who went to the island 28 times.
That's the first plan. But plan number two is throw shade at Bill Clinton. And although Clinton borrowed Epstein's jets, these trips were related to the work of the Clinton Foundation and included stops in Europe, Asia, and Africa. And there were a lot of people there to witness exactly what happened. And regarding trips to Epstein's island, there's absolutely no evidence from flight logs or court documents to confirm that Bill Clinton visited the island. And although Trump claims that Clinton did visit the island, this is disputed by lawyers for Maxwell and Epstein, and there are no pilot logs supporting this claim. Now, the third thing could be that Trump maintains there was never a list.
It's sitting on my desk.
And Maxwell assists in the prosecution of people supported by other witnesses. Or Maxwell's prison sentence is reduced and Trump pardons her after the primaries, which I think is the most likely scenario. But will any of this appease the former MAGA loyalists who still suspect a cover-up?
I honestly think it's a complete misreading of the room. If you want justice for Jeffrey Epstein, if you are outraged over the behavior he engaged in, you should be equally outraged over Ghislaine Maxwell's behavior. I mean, there's a special place in hell for women who would help men abuse younger women. I think that's a universal take of people who want to get to the bottom of this Epstein saga. So there, I think, is a real fear. Is she going to get some kind of a deal? Is she incentivized that she should cooperate with what the Justice Department or the White House wants to hear her say, because she might get a more lenient sentence or ultimately a pardon at the end of Trump's term? Those are things that his base does not want. They see her as big of a monster as Jeffrey Epstein. So I think they have to navigate this really carefully. I think the first thought is, okay, we might get some answers from her, but we're skeptical because she's untrustworthy. If she helps us nail some people who are involved in this, fine. But if it seems like this is actually kind of to whitewash her own wrongdoing and criminality, I think that that's going to really backfire on the White House.
In 2024, nearly 100 million Americans who were eligible to vote stayed home. But polling indicates that even then, 87% of them opposed Trump and cited his presence in the political bubble as to why they stayed home. And we are 15 months away from the midterms. So if Trump tries some sort of deal with Maxwell, you're talking about a complete disaster for MAGA.
And now he says if you're not on board with the Epstein cover-up, oh, I don't want your support. You're a weakling. Fuck you. Fuck you. You suck. You are fat. You are a joke. You are stupid. You are not funny. You are not as smart as you think you are.
And again, my question for the Republican Party, can you stand up to Trump?
We better be united. We better be strong. We better be focused. We better be articulate. We can't waste our time on Epstein and other stuff.
Republicans are facing an unparalleled disaster that only they can prevent. And as far as I can tell, there's only one way out.
It's sitting on my desk.
Trump admitted he knew Epstein for 15 years.
Goddamn right.
Do you have no shame?
They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
I don't want to talk about this stuff.
Am I wrong?
You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
I think he's crazy. I'm Chip Franklin.